Is it go time? Hello, hello, hello. Hi, welcome. I'm Rocky Crabtree, coming to you from Craftex. And today I'm going to be showing you how to create an enhancer that is going to go onto a swag. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So it's going to be in two different parts. I'm going to show you how to make an enhancer using a few products. And then I'm going to show you the corresponding swag. But this is going to be detachable, so you can put this onto your swag, and if you don't want to use it next year, you want to use this for something else on the back of a chair, over a door, over a mirror, you can detach it, and then you can use it for that purpose. But this is going to be basically just like right on top of here. I hope you can see all that. But we're going to incorporate the bells, the matching berries, the gold stem, and it's not a lot of product, but it's very, very pretty, and it's very subtle, but I also think very rich looking as well. But what I'm going to be teaching you first is how to, just putting the basics on the swag, and then we'll come back to get this. So let's get started. I have several things here I want to show you. We have our Norwegian swag. This is one of our most popular ones. I believe it's 42 inches, but whenever we're done, it's going to be maybe like 48 inches when we have the berries and the garlands and the picks and everything going through. We have this beautiful, I think it's a Norfolk. Yeah, Cypress Norfolk garland. This one I'm going to fluff, and it's going to be set inside, so you're going to get two different types of greenery, which is going to make it nice and luxurious. We have some weatherproof berries, which are probably my go-to berries. 3 come on a stem. I cut them down to size for this purpose. If you want to have a longer stem, these are great for making arrangements, wreaths, centerpieces, everything, anything you like. Then we have our beautiful new gold bells. These are new for us, this design. I like the metallic. We're only going to put 2 in here, but it makes a really, really, really nice statement. And then for one of my favorite new stems, this acanthus leaf, this extra long, beautiful acanthus leaf, and like a light gold and like a metallic gold. This is just going to give it that extra wow factor. And then people always ask for pre-made, small bows. This one comes from Windward. This is a great bow. I wired it in there. It has like a little clip, but just for extra, security, I don't want it to fall off, or, if the weather gets, whatever. I always wire everything in. This is going to be in the enhancer. Just keep that in mind. This is really nice. Or you can use any kind of bow, a ribbon you like, but for this, I'm going to be using this one. So let's get started. If you have any questions, let us know in the comments, and then we will get back to you. All this stuff is available for purchase, but these go pretty quick. So if you like this, you might want to order them online or come in and get them, because this is one of the best sellers we have. All right, so for this one, this Norfolk pine, I'm just going to lay this in the center. First, I'm going to fluff it, just give it some life. Don't pull too hard on it because it is wired in there. But you're just going to want to shake it up a little bit, move some pieces around. Move this one up and just give it some life. And I'm just going to find the center. And this already has a hook right here. I'm just going to match it to that hook right there. And then once you set it in place, you're going to go back with either a zip tie, a wire, whatever you like to use. I like to use zip ties. I think it gives a little bit more security when you're placing them in. Or you can use a lot of people like to use the greenery on the stem, on the swag, but I'm a zip tie kind of guy. And I like how close it gets to the spine of it, so it gives that really cool two-tone look. And then I just normally go do 3 times. 1 on the top, 1 in the middle, and then 1 on the bottom. Or if you just want to do 1 on top and 1 on the bottom, it's all personal preference. Make it your own, but I like to do 3. So make sure you have all your supplies ready to get this done. You see how nice that looks? Make sure you get the pine fluffed out where it's 2-tone, so it's all look like it's mixed together. This one goes on the side, have some over here. We also have this garland and stems. If you didn't want to use a garland, you didn't want it to be all the way through, and you just wanted to have some of this color popped in, you can use a stem as well. We have several different really, really nice greenery now. So there's so much to choose from. All right, so with each step, I like to go back and clean up my, clean the back up. You don't want to have any of your mechanics showing. So I just do that, and then I twist the little zip ties, so if you pick it up, it won't be sharp. You don't have to do that, it's just something I do. All right, so as you can see now, the greenery is all mixed in. Get some of that right there. Just so it has that real natural look to it. I love it, beautiful. Now this piece is not gonna have that much in it, but it's gonna be like a nice full look. With your berries, you're gonna get them and shape them however you like. I like a little wild. And then I always usually just bend them up a little bit so it gives more life coming out of the swag. Because if you just have them flat, they're not gonna do much. So this one I'm gonna put right on top, just so you can get an idea of where everything is going. And then I'm gonna do the same thing, fluff this one out. And then this is gonna go right here. I love making natural pieces. Don't get me wrong, I like all the glitter and the glam of all the, you know, the fun glitzy stuff, but this is my jam. I love natural Christmas. Berries, greenery, cedar greenery. Beautiful. Okay, just so you get an idea where everything's going, it's gonna be right there, and then you're gonna go back in and then zip tie these in. I'm making this order, this pretty big order, the same concept. And if you wanted to, I can show you what I did with those, because the gold stem was a little smaller than this. But if you wanted to put your berry on top of this and then put them in together, it saves time. But for this purpose, I wanted to use two. But the other one, I have a gold stem, gold stem, gold stem. So I just made like a little bundle and put them in that way. So I wanted to save some time on that because I had so many to do. But the awesome thing about this is, like I said earlier, it's making them detachable. If you wanted to change it up a little bit next year, you want to keep the base the way it is, but you wanted a different ribbon, or you wanted a different, you know, if you have the stems, you don't want the, you know, that same enhancer, you can switch it up. You just have to take it off and add something else to it, which I think is fun. All right. So now that we have our berries in there, we're gonna go to the next piece. And I'll go back and clean up. Oops, okay. All right, let me show you what this looks like. You know, and even if you just wanted to keep it all natural, if you wanted to add like another berry here, you know, berry coming up, and just keep it with just greenery and berries, that's also a really pretty look. All right, so like I said, this is one of my favorite pieces. It's a new piece for us, the acanthus leaf. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop some of these going the opposite direction. And then make sure everything is out. And with this one, I'm just going to twist it a little bit just to give it a little bit more life. And then this one, I'm gonna go the opposite side of the berry. Now you can go with the berry or you cannot, but I'm just gonna, on this one, I'm gonna go opposite sides. And we're gonna go back and we're gonna get all these pieces out. So I mean, so that you don't see this stem, it's gonna be looking like it's just natural coming out of the greenery. And we have these berries, I believe, in gold as well, and white. All right, so go back in here and get all these little pieces of green and wrap it around the stem so you don't see the stem. And like I said, this is just gonna be a subtle little hint of gold, not too overpowering. And then we're gonna maneuver that in there. And then zip tie that baby in. I have a feeling I'm going to be making a lot of these this year. I have a little feeling. Okay, again, you're going to want to go back and get this greenery. Don't leave that greenery just smushed in the back. You want it to pop out. Okay. See how nice and subtle that looks? And then the other one's going to go here. So basically it's just like 3 and then 2 and then 2 bells. And then you have your look. Oh, and your garland in the middle. Get these and fluff them all out. Look how beautiful that is. All right, I am going just to bend it a little bit. All right. This one, I want it to be hanging down some. So this is probably going to go, the top of the stem is going to be right in the center of the swag. Yeah, that's a good place. Now you're going to have to wiggle your fingers through these, through the greenery. It is a little difficult, but it's mostly because you want it to be nice and tight. You don't want it to be loose. So you do have to, tie it pretty tight to either the spine or the or the spine of this garland. You just have to attach it somewhere pretty tight. All right. And if you have any questions or comments, just leave it in the comment section below. I love traditional colors too. I love reds and golds and silvers and golds. All right. If you wanted to use like gold berries and have it all monochromatic look, that'd be beautiful as well. Now make sure you get all this pine. And let me see. See how beautiful that looks right there? Because we're going to have a bell here and we're going to have a bell here. And that's all you really need. So let's get this bell. Now this bell comes with a black, like a velvet wire, but I'm not going to use this. So we can either cut this off or save it for something else. So maybe I'll save it and tie my hair up or something. All right. Let's get these off. We have a large selection of bells now. They were really, really popular last year. You know what? This one's giving me problems, so I'm cutting this one off. All right. Come on, come on. Now you're also going to want to use wire for this one. I didn't bring any wire. Let's see. Hey, Maynard. You want to do me a little favor since you're there? Oh, Paula, will you give me some wire? Yes. Thank you. Some water? Wire. Okay, so this bell is going to fit into it here just like that. It's going to be coming down. These are real bells. And another one here. And then we're going to work on the enhancer as I wait for the wire. No, that's perfect. We're using covered wire. I like to use the 22 gauge. We sell this, I think, by the pound. But you're just going to want to get your wire, give it a few loops, twists, and then set that aside and do the other one. So this only has 5 products for the swag, which I think is great. All right, so you're just going to get this to where you want it to be. If you want it to be higher, you don't want to go too high because you have the enhancer. And you're going to want to make sure that you get it in pretty tight. And let's find your wire back here, give it a few twists. Now this goes there. And the good thing about all this product is you can maneuver it and manipulate it however you want. So you have your one bell there. This bell, let's go a little bit further down. If you wanted to add 3 bells, you can add 3 bells. If you wanted to add 2 big ones and 2 smaller ones. It's whatever you like, whatever your preference is, and how full you want it. This one's giving me issues. All right. So now that we have our bell here, make sure it's pretty tight. I like to make sure everything is secure, because if you move it and something falls, you know, it can damage whatever fell out of it. All right, so this is what your swag is going to look like with just your greenery, your berry stems, which these are weatherproof, your glitter stems, and your 2 bells. And you know, I think it gives a really nice big statement for not having too much in there. Everything's like tucked in there really nice and tight. You know, you don't really see any of the stems, which is great. So there's that. Now we're gonna set this one aside right here. And I'm gonna show you how to make the enhancer with 1, 2, 3, just 1 stem, and then your 2 bells. Oh, and your bow. So let's start. This one right here is gonna be the mate of the garland. This comes in like a little bush, which is really nice. What I do, I just give like a nice little shake and then pull them down. Make sure everything is kind of like all over the place. And then set this one right here. Do the same thing. Pull it down. Give it some life. And then these, I'll worry about that later. We're gonna just have it like a little crescent, kind of. You can make it as big as you want. I'm gonna make it kind of tight because I want it to fit there. And so again, you're just gonna zip tie it. Make sure it's nice and secure. I'm just gonna zip tie this in 2 different spots on both sides of the neck. So I got that one. Now find this one. I think I need to invest in zip tie stock. I'd be a billionaire. Okay, so here we go. You know, you just zip tie these 2 pieces together, go back and clean up the edges, or the little wires in the back. Okay, there's that piece right here. Very simple. Again, if you wanted it to be longer, you can make this longer. You know, I wanted it to be a little more tight. All right, so I'm going to start with this one. So this one is a pretty long piece. If you didn't want to use this one, you can use 1 glitter stem here and 1 here. I'm just going to use 1 stem, and I'm just going to take these leaves and I'm just going to twist them back to opposite direction. Keep that one there, you know, and have them to where they're going opposite directions. This is going to stay on top, have the little leaves coming up, and then you're going to place that right in the center. And again, you're going to zip tie. I'm only going to use 1 zip tie on this. Nice and tight. Don't worry about all this, because we're going to go back and remember what I told you over here, how you're going to get that greenery, and flip that greenery out so you don't see the stem. All this will be covered. All right, now that you have all that ready, we're going to go back with the berries. 2 berries, bend them however you like. I'm going to have mine a little crazy so you can see the berries from all the different angles. I'm just going to place 1 here and another one mirror to that. All right, and there we go. And I'm just going to use 1 zip tie for this one. Now on these berries, if you see a little like a white spot to where like the paint chipped off, if you get like a black Sharpie and you just fill that in, it looks real natural. All right, so we have the berries, we have the glitter stems, and we have the base, which is right here. Now, only thing we have left to do is we're gonna have the bow. I did, like I said earlier, I did wire the bow before we started the video, just for time purposes, but this is a pre-made bow, it has a nice wire in it, pretty velvet. And I'm just gonna get this and wire it to the back. Very simple. All right, I'm gonna keep this wire on though because I'm gonna use this wire to attach it to this. Fluff that bow up however you like. Have this acanthus leaf coming out, or you can have it coming out on the top. Let's see, where can we do this one? Let's put it on the side. All right, and then we're gonna get our bells. I'm gonna take this off. If you wanted to keep it, because you want to reuse the bells, hang them, keep the black on there, but I don't want it on there, so I'm gonna take it off. We're almost done, guys. This is a very pretty, quick lesson for y'all. All right, we're almost done. And I'll show you how to attach it to the piece as well. All right, so this right here, I'm gonna get this part and I'm gonna tuck it pretty tight in to where the bow is basically meeting the greenery. And I'm gonna get it and wiggle it real tight and then wire that in. Same thing with this one. I'm right-handed, so I have to use my right hand a lot. I have to move things, wiggle things around. And guys, we are done with this enhancer. Go back and clean it up. I can't really see, but you have your berries, you have your bow, your glitter stem, your bells, and then that's the enhancer part. You can use this for anything really. Like I said earlier, you can use it for above the doorway, a mirror, the back of a chair, any place if you don't want to use it on here. But you're gonna get this piece right here. And that wire that I said save, we're gonna find a spot and we're just going to wiggle it in so it's nice and tight. Now if you wanted to, where'd that wire go? Where'd you go, buddy? See, I already lost it. There you are. Okay. If you didn't want to have the enhancer, you can attach all this, single, by each piece, but I think the enhancer is kind of cool. All right, now you're just gonna get it, fluff it all out, and here you go. So you have your swag right there with your enhancer top. Let's see, I think it looks pretty. Well, there you go. Thank you for tuning in. I hope I taught you something. Please ask any question or call if you need to know something. And thank you for tuning in. Bye-bye.